Thank you. So on Saturday, something happened to my computer. I clicked on the wrong thing, essentially, which introduced some kind of bug. And so I actually had to have my entire Chrome browser deleted and then re-uploaded, or however that all works. So, yes, so I'm still working on some of the bugs, right, you guys? Eee, lucky me. Oh, that's great, Kamora. Man, I wish I could do that more than anything. You have no idea how much I envy that. Good for you. Good for you. I wish I could. It just doesn't happen. That's not gonna happen. Okay, anyway. So while we wait for everyone, you guys, how about up here? Tricky things. We started with the el, la, los, and las. Then last class on Thursday, I guess it was, we looked at un, una, unos, and unas. So what do they mean? If el, la, los, and las mean the, what do these mean? Nope. Nope, James, we are not. We are on Thursday, though. Okay, let's see. Kimura, I got an answer from you. Good job. Haley, Nikki, James, what do we remember? What do these words mean? If el, la, los, and las were the, what are these? Okay, good answer, Nikki. Remember, if we don't remember, just tell me IDK, right? Anybody else? What do these words mean? If it's not the, good, Marilisa, because the was el, la, los, and las, right? So what's this? What's this? Buenos días a todos, Carolina, Lay, Oriana, Akar, buenos días. Feliz lunes, right? Happy Monday. See? Evan, Carlin, Elizabeth, Oriana, buenos días. Hi, James. Okay, so we're pondering, we're thinking, what do these words mean? Un, una, unos, or unas. If you're not sure, maybe think about counting. Okay. And the fact that we did when we count with numbers, right? And then when we did the, right? Remember, we always have 4 forms for almost everything. So the, el, la, los, and las was the, right? So what are these over here? Heaven. Woo, good job. Very good. Anyone else? Arshas. That's correct, Elizabeth. They are indefinite articles, but what do they mean? We want to know what they mean. right? Like el, la, los, and las meant the. What do these mean? Very good. Yes, absolutely. Very good, Elizabeth. Absolutely. Oops. I'm just going to send a quick note out, you guys. Okay. Anybody else? Well, I hope you all had a great weekend. I was telling some folks earlier that Saturday I was working on my computer and something popped up, and when you're so like, I'm sure it's happened to you, when you're so like focused into what you're doing, you kind of don't pay attention, like annoyed, when things pop up or something. I think so. What I did was I clicked to exit out of whatever it was that popped up, and they were tricky. And I got like a bug in my computer, which meant, you guys, that I had to have my Chrome browser totally deleted, right? And the only reason, I guess, that I was able to put everything back together was because thankfully I had backed up everything on my phone, right? So just an FYI, be careful what you're clicking off of all the time. I know it's really hard to do sometimes, but there you go. Okay. So Priscilla, are we awake today? Can we sit up, please, so we don't fall asleep? Thank you. Charlie, Lay, I need a camera, please. Come on, y'all. I know it's Monday, but there's how it rolls. Okay. You guys have a busy week this week, right? It's the end of the first 9 weeks, the end of our first quarter, kind of a big milestone, and in the school year. So we want to make sure that we finish strong. We have testing this week, right? For some of us in some of our classes. Yeah. Okay. So we don't want to, drop the ball at this stage of the game, right? We want to keep rolling. All right. So behind me, what do these words mean? What they mean is like a dog, a window, a shoe. Okay. Depending upon if the dog, the window, the shoe, et cetera, are masculine or feminine. If it's plural, some dogs, some shoes, some windows, then it becomes unos or unas. So our singular forms here mean a dog, a cat, or whatever. And then our plural forms mean some dogs, some cats. Okay. Any questions there? All right. So we are going to keep practicing those. And we're going to do something way, 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 way different today. So I need y'all like click, turn the brain on today. Okay. All right. So let me switch my screen up real quick. All right. So take a look at my screen. Feliz lunes. Today's Monday. Happy Monday. Hoy es el 29 de septiembre. You guys, September has flown. Boom, gone, right? October, here we come. Halloween, right? Fall kind of weather, leaves changing, my favorite time of the year. Okay. So what are we doing? Vamos a leer. We are going to read. La historia de Miguel y su amigo. So remember we started last week that little short story about Miguel, Carlos y Juan. Y Juan tiene una mujer, right? La mujer es una dentista, right? She's a dentist. Remember our little story? Yes. So this is now, I read it to you last week. We looked at some pictures. You guys told me in chat what you think you heard and all of that. Well, now we're going to figure some things out together as a class. Okay. So is everybody ready to go? See? Yes? Because you all, this is on you today. Okay, I'm just going to try to guide you a little bit. Okay. Before we head on over there, I have a question for you. And let's do something in English. Okay. If in English I say, I don't know, let me think of a good example. Okay, listen carefully. If I say in English, the flower is red. Okay, no, let me do it again. The flower on the desk is red. Okay, the flower on the desk is red. Or I can say, a flower on the desk is red. A flower on the desk is red. Which one of those sentences is more specific? Okay, so let me do it again. The flower on the desk is red. A flower on the desk is red. Which one of those is more specific? Is it the first sentence or the second sentence? Let me do it again. The flower on the desk is red. A flower on the desk is red. Is it sentence 1 or sentence 2 that is more specific? Very good. Keep it coming. Yes, absolutely. Arshis. Yes. Yes. Muy bien. You guys are telling me sentence number 1. So that means, you guys, the use of the word the is our definite article. It is more specific. So it's definite. The use of the word a is less specific, right? A flower, one of those flowers on the desk, right? A flower on the desk is red. One of them is red. We don't know which one of them. So that's an indefinite article because it's less specific. We don't exactly know which flower in this case. Just one of them happens to be red. Okay. In Spanish, it's the same. Okay. El, la, los, and las are the words for the. Those are specific. They are definite. The words un, una, unos, and unas mean a, and therefore indefinite and less specific. So we need to keep those things in mind. Okay. Okay. Let's start our story, and we're going to do this kind of differently, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the chat, and I need everybody to join me there. Let me get myself ready here. And fingers crossed, because like I said, I had to delete my Chrome Chrome browser. So I'm hoping things work today. All righty. Click on that, please. I need everybody to join me there. Good morning, Aslan. Today I have Elizabeth, I have Marilisa, Haley, Stacy, Kamora. I need everyone. Now, this will be the first time we do this, which is why we're going to do it together, because you need to learn how to do it. And as we go through the school year, you guys will be expected to do these things, more independently as we progress. Okay. So, you need to make sure that you follow along here. Oops. Aslan, hold on. That did not copy right. Hold on. Did it come over? Okay, there are 19 of you. I need 4 more. So come on, you guys. Clock is ticking. Is there anyone having troubles getting in? Let's see. Elizabeth, are you in? You are in. Akari, I need you in. Heaven, you were in, right? You're just waiting. And Aslan, right? Okay, so first of all, yes. Oh, let's see what this says. Okay. I still need 2 more people. So taking a look at this, and I'll share, if you guys can see my background, you can see behind me my Zoom background. I have my question words up, okay? Because when we do stories, part of the comprehension is, right, we understand what is being asked, okay? So, like I said, we'll work through this together, but this is pretty important, you guys. We're going to graduate a little bit on a higher level, okay, of Spanish. But I did include the Spanish questions in the Nearpod, okay? All right. One more time, give me a thumbs up if what you see is a copy of the story in Nearpod. Give me a thumbs up if y'all see that. Kamura says yes. You see questions? Yeah, you should be on slide 3. Y'all on slide 3? Okay. Yeah. I'll put it in Zoom so you guys should see what, well, I mean, see what I'm seeing anyway. Okay, this is what you should see. Priscilla, you ready? Okay, so looking at our instructions, you guys, it says use the text tool and the crayon to annotate as needed. Now, you can do whatever you want. There's the crayon, there's the highlighter, you obviously have an eraser, and you have a text tool, okay? This is not rocket science, okay? But our goal is this. Our goal is to try to identify what we know, okay? And see then, based on what we know, what if we can figure out what the story is telling us. Now, we did a good job with it last week, okay? Now, the whole point of this is this, right? Number 1, to see words in context. Number 2, to see cognates, to practice that skill. And when we put those things together, you guys, it helps us form sort of a habit, if you will, so that as the year progresses, if I give you something written like this, it should at some point become natural to you instead of being overwhelmed to say, okay, I know I need to look for my cognates and I know I need to look for words that I know, like vocab words or whatever. Okay. And then try to figure out what it means. So it's about learning the process so that you don't feel so overwhelmed. Okay. Okay. So again, we're using the text tool and the crayon or the highlighter or whatever works for you. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to show you is our word bank down here at the bottom. Okay. Because there are words in the story that, we haven't learned yet, and that's fine. So let's just go through the word bank together so that you know what's in there. Una ciudad, pequeño, llamado, pero, quiere, ser, van, juntos, les cuenta, and sobre. Okay. So those are the words that we have available to us that are in the story that, we haven't learned yet or whatever. All right. So here's our first thing that we need to do. Let's go through this and use your highlighter, use your crayon, whatever you want to do. And let's try to find some cognates. Now we have to know what that means. Cognates are those words in another language that have the same meaning, right? They're going to look similar. They're going to be pronounced differently, but they got to have the same meaning. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Kimura. So everybody should be in the Nearpod and everybody should be highlighting or underlining cognates, words that you think are cognates. Because, we want to find out, like we want to focus on the words that we don't know, right? And it's easier if we can say, okay, I already know these, right? Okay. I'm going to give you a few minutes and everybody should be highlighting, circling, underlining, whatever works for you in the Nearpod. Finding cognates. DK, Dallas, Oriana, Charlie, Haley, Heaven, Carlin, Lay, and Nikki. Now don't submit anything, okay? Because we're not done working yet. That's fine. That's fine. That doesn't, again, we're trying to learn the process. That doesn't mean that there's a lot of cognates in here or whatever, right? It just means we're trying to learn the process. What do we do? When Miss Rovello gives us a big old thing and says, here, what does this mean? What steps do I need to do, right? Haley, you with me? Lay, Nikki, Charlie, Dallas, Oriana. I don't see you working on the Nearpod. Okay, another minute. Words that you think have the same meaning in Spanish and English, right? Even if they look different. Okay. Let's look at paragraph 1, you guys. Is there a cognate in there? Carlin, did you find one? Heaven, was there one in there? Nikki, what do you say? Haley, what do you say? Was there a cognate in there? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. What do y'all say? Okay. Anyone else? Come on, y'all. Commit, right or wrong, right? This is a group effort. Do you think there's a cognate in paragraph 1? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Okay. Nikki, what do you think? Elizabeth? Charlie? Carolina? All right, Arshis. All right, that's good. James, what do you say? Okay, so en una pequeña ciudad hay un niño que se llama Miguel. Él es amigo de un chico que se llama Carlos. There are no cognates in there at all, right? Unless you want to figure Miguel is Michael, right? Or Carlos is Carl, or, whatever. But words, no, there aren't any. Okay, so in number one, you should not have any cognates. Okay, all right, número dos. Miguel quiere ser maestro, pero Carlos quiere ser periodista. Did you find a cognate in two? Arsha says no. Carlin says no. Anybody else? Anybody? Y'all are telling me no. Priscilla says no. Okay. It depends. Maestro, we borrow that word in English for somebody who is like a conductor of an orchestra, or somebody who's like really good at what they do. So that one, yes and no. It's a borrowed word. I don't know that it's necessarily a cognate. Okay. All right, good. All right, good job so far, you guys. Okay, number three. Juan es un hombre. La mujer de Juan es dentista en la pequeña ciudad. So Arsha says, yes, there's a cognate in there. Y'all agree with her? Yeah? Okay, so what is our cognate, you guys? It should be, you're telling me what? You can unmute. Dentista, that's it. Okay, so make sure that you highlight, underline, circle, whatever you like. Dentista, dentist. All right, ooh, we got one. All right, number four, número cuatro. Todos los días, los amigos van juntos a la escuela, donde estudian con su profesor. Anything in four? Thumbs up, yes or no? Yeah, Arsha says yes. Anybody else? Marilisa says yes. DK, Elizabeth, what do you say? C. All right, Priscilla, good. Kimura. All right, so you're right. You guys are telling me profesor is one, right? Professor. So you can highlight that one or whatever you're doing. Any more? There's actually a couple more in there. Estudian. Very good. Estudiante is a student. So what is estudian? What do students do, you guys? What are they supposed to do? They study. Absolutely. So that's our verb to study. Estudiantes estudian, right? They study. Students study. So you can underline or highlight estudian. Any more? We're in four. We're in four, James. Okay. Some of you are telling me dias or days. Yeah, I don't know if that's a cognate because, well, I guess dias, I guess that could be for you. That's cool if you want to keep that one in there. Okay, any more for number four? Very good, Elizabeth. Escuela. It says van juntos a la escuela. What is an escuela? Good, Heaven. What's an escuela? A school, right? Aren't we talking about estudian and a profesor? And where do these things happen? Or where would a professor be? Right? A la escuela, at the school. So make sure that you have highlighted or whatever, escuela. Okay, so now we know we're talking about school and studying and teachers. Okay, number five. Some of you have already answered this one. Number five, what do you all think? Yes, there are some cognates in here. What's an obvious one? Priscilla, great. Yes. So we have turista, tourist, right? We have visita, right? Visits. Visita, visit. Rihanna, good job. You're telling me historias is like a history or a story. Bien. Any others? Any others, you guys? Any other? I mean, maybe if you make a connection, right? Maybe there's just not an obvious one. Maybe you're just making a connection. Don't be afraid to pop it in the chat. What do you all see? Anything else? Yep. Turistas, visita, and historia. Those are the three we've said. Anything else? I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Look at the word viajar. Viajar. If we're talking about a tourist, what do tourists do? They travel, right? What's another word for travel, like being on a trip in English? Starts with a V. Visit, vacation, VO. Voyage. Huh, you guys? Voyage. If you go on a voyage, viajar. Can you see that kind of? Viajar, voyage, that G and J, right? Yeah, in context anyway. Yeah, I mean, that's a stretchy one. I get it. Okay. But I remember that's how I remembered the word. Okay. So you can underline it, you can not, whatever. To me, like I say, that was a far stretchy one. Okay. All right. Any other cognates that you think we may have missed? Woody, good job. You guys did a great job. Thanks for the participation. I love that. So again, whenever I give you something in future to say, here, read this. First step, you guys, is there a word bank? Number two, what are the cognates? Because then I don't have to worry about those words and I get an idea of what is going on. Okay. All right. Next thing, we're going to try to find some of our new like vocab. Is there any words in here that you recognize? Okay. Words that we recognize. So I'm going to give you a minute, go through each one, just like we did with cognates. Pick a different color, maybe. Circle them, underline them, whatever you do. Are there words that we're learning? Are there words that you recognize? And in the Nearpod, again, pick a different color and do what we did before. Annotate on the screen, please. What words do we already know? Bakari, you need to join us, please. Okay, another minute or two. Okay, got about done. Looks like you're about done. Lay, I need you to join us, please. All right. Okay, so let's kind of do this. Let's come back together, you guys, and let's see what we need to do. So again, we've done our cognates. We're gonna try and figure out what words we know so that we could maybe focus on the ones we don't. Okay. All right. So in line 1 or paragraph 1, Xilla, can you unmute and just tell me what you marked down that you recognize?
Una, Nino,
Niño, right?
Nino,
Uh-huh.
LS,
LS, good.
Llamo,
Okay, Yama, very good. Any others?
Q,
K, yeah. In one? That's a lot. Very good. In paragraph 1, we're just looking at paragraph 1. Thank you, Xilla. Good job. Thank you. Okay, anybody else recognize something in paragraph 1 that we didn't mention just a second ago? Okay, James. Somebody said Chico, because that's part of our vocab, right? Chico, little boy. Chico, right? Okay, good job. All right. Number 2. Remember, we're looking for words that are part of our vocab that we're learning, right? Words that we maybe recognize. So in 2, let's see, Marilisa, can you unmute and tell us what words you recognize from what we're learning?
Maestro and periodista.
Very good. Maestro, right, Scylla, very good. And maestro and periodista, right? Those are 2 words directly from our vocab. And also, Priscilla wanted to add a number 1, amigo, right? We recognize that word. We hear that a lot in English, right? Amigo, very good. Friend, okay? All right, let's look at 3 then. Juan es un hombre. La mujer de Juan es dentista en la pequeña ciudad. Anybody recognize words here that we're learning in 3? Carlin, what are we doing in 3? Words that we have been learning in class. Good, Kimura.
Hombre, mujer, and dentista.
Very good. So from class, you guys, we've learned hombre, man, mujer, woman or wife, and dentista. Okay. Yeah, very good. Okay. All right. 4. In 4. Heaven. We got anything in there that we have or we've been learning? Heaven in 4. Did you find any in 4, heaven? Can you unmute? Oh, says okay. Bueno. Let's see. Carolina, can you unmute? Carolina, can you unmute? See? Oh no. Can you unmute, Carolina? No? Okay. James, can you unmute? I know you can. In 4. Are there words we recognize from our vocab in 4?
Los días, los
días.
amigos,
Los amigos.
Escuela, estudiante, profesor.
Profesor, very good. Profesor, directly from our vocab. Good job. All right, número 5. Number 5. Any words there from our vocab? Stacy, can you unmute? What you thinking, Stacy? Yeah. From our vocab specifically, we have un, right? Yes, un, because it's un dia. And un turista. We also had in 3, un hombre, right? I forgot about un in number 3. Anything else in 5? Anybody? Turista, yeah. In 5. Okay, Heaven, you want to do 5?
Niños and Teresa.
Yeah, niños, exactly. And turistas and right? Like un día. Okay, un día. Very good. And un turista, right? Okay, very good, you guys. Look how many words. Think about this. This is what, 9 weeks, you guys. This week is our end of our 9 weeks, right? Think about how much Spanish you thought you knew when you came into Spanish 1 9 weeks ago versus look at what you just did, right? So pat yourselves on the back. That's quite a improvement, I'm sure, in the first 9 weeks. Is it not? What do y'all say? Yes or no? Is it? Yes. So round of applause to you all. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good job. Okay. Now, here's what I would like you to do. Click on the T down at the bottom in your tools. And it's gonna open a text box. Now, personally, I do not like the text box here in Nearpod. If it doesn't work for you, I get it. Just do your best, okay? What I would like for you to do, you guys, I'm going to give you, it's like 5 till, okay? I'm going to give you until after 11 o'clock, a little bit after 11 o'clock. And what I would like for you to do is silently, you read each of those 5, I'll call them paragraphs, but they're not paragraphs, but you know what I mean. And then open a text box and write down what you think those sentences mean. So you're typing in English, you're reading it to yourself, you're being as specific as possible, and you're telling me what you think each one of those groups of sentences mean in English. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Yes? Okay, if you need me to do an example, we can do an example. Sorry about that. I had to get the sun off my screen. Okay. Good job, Elizabeth. If you need help, just pop it in the chat or you can unmute, you guys. This is meant to be a group thing. Well, in Spanish, maestro, that's one of our vocab words. Maestro or rather maestro or maestra is a teacher, an elementary school teacher. Mhm. Remember, you guys are using the text tool to just open up a text box for each one of those 5 groups of sentences. What do you think they're talking about here? How would you loosely anyway translate the sentence? What is the main idea, right? You can skip it. Remember, we're not doing it word for word. We're doing main idea. Okay. This is not meant to be like a word for word translation. Okay. It's meant to be just, can you figure out what the heck they're talking about here? So I don't want you to stress about it. Yeah, it's kind of weird, Aslan. Just give it your best shot, right? You got to click on the little text box tool. The T, you got to click the T and it'll open a box.
I am, but when I start typing, it'll show the little cursor moving, but nothing's showing up.
Really? Okay, well, just tinker with it if you can. If not, as long as you're doing it in your head, that's fine. Like I said, I'm not a fan of
Put
your
it
quads
in the chat.
text box. You can do it in the chat if you want. Yeah. Remember, you guys, it's not meant to be word for word exactly like a translation. Okay. You're just telling me what you think the main idea is. Yep, that's good, Aslan. Nikki, how are you doing? Give it a try. It's not meant to be perfect. Haley, how about you? Coming along okay? Charlie and Dallas. Oriana. It's working your text box. I see that. Okay, one more minute and then we're going to come back together and we'll share out. We'll see how what you guys came up with. You guys are doing a great job. Okay, all right. So in the interest of time, you guys, we're gonna come back together. Okay. All right. So please, I want you guys to feel free to share. Okay. It would go faster if you unmuted. But if you feel more comfortable putting your answers in the chat, that's fine. It just takes longer. Okay. All right. So let's look at number one. En una pequeña ciudad hay un niño que se llama Miguel. Él es amigo de un chico que se llama Carlos. Who wants to share what they think that whole thing means? Okay, Marlisa, you can unmute.
In a small city, there's a boy named Miguel, and he's friends with a boy named Carlos.
Yeah, very good. So there's a little boy named Miguel, right? Hay un niño. And amigo's friend, right? And his friends se llama Carlos. His friend's name is Carlos. And then en una pequeña ciudad, you guys, we can look at our word bank down here. So we're talking about, right, in a small town, in a small city. Okay, we can like start filling in some of those blanks necessarily if we needed to. Okay. Okay, número dos. Miguel quiere ser maestro, pero Carlos quiere ser periodista. Who's got one they want to share for number two? Oh, you can do this. Elizabeth. Elizabeth, what you come up with for número dos?
Miguel wants to be a teacher, but Carlos wants to be a journalist.
Yay, perfect. Absolutely, right? And we use our word bank to help us fill in whatever blanks if we want, right? That exact translation. Okay, very good, you guys. All right, número tres. Who wants to do? I got a hand up. Kimura.
For 3, I got Juan is a man with a wife who is a dentist in a small city.
Very good. So Juan is a man, and Juan's wife, la mujer de Juan, right? La mujer de Juan, Juan's wife, es dentista in our little town. So she's a dentist. Okay, good job. All right, número cuatro, anybody? Número cuatro, that was kind of a longer one. Número cuatro? Who's willing? Oriana, what do you say? Marlisa's willing. All right, Marlisa, give it to us.
Every day
No? Oh, you're laughing. Okay, that's cool. Are you going to try again? No. Okay. Anybody else? That's all right. Anybody else want to try cinco? All right, Kimura.
For me, some words I didn't get, but I kind of pieced together that.
That's the whole point, honey. That's
yeah.
okay,
I figured that friends go together to school to study with the professor.
Absolutely, right? So todos los días, we know días are days. So like every day, todos los días, every day. These friends, right? We're talking about Carlos and Miguel, go to school where, donde, they study with their teacher, with their professor. Okay, muy bien. All right, número cinco was the hard one. Notice, you guys, how our sentences kind of get harder as we go. Yeah. Okay. So número cinco, what do we think? Anybody want to try it? Courage. Kimura, what do you say? You want to try?
Yeah, I said a day a tourist visits a city. I don't really know that other part.
Okay.
They hear stories, and a little boy wants to be a tourist and travel when they're
Okay,
older.
very, very good. So we just need to be careful, right, when we're talking singular or plural, because, you know, kind of does matter. So one day, a tourist visited La Ciudad, we know from the word bank is city, right? And we decided that historias were stories. And then in our word bank, it says les cuenta, right? So one day the tourist visits the city and tells them stories about their country, su país, their country, okay, or their town, their city, whichever. Los niños, right, the boys, plural, dream, sueñan, right, to be tourists and to travel around the world. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So one day a tourist comes to the city and tells them stories about their country. The children dream of being tourists and traveling around the world, right? Por el mundo, around the world. That last one was hard, and that's fine. That's cool, right? That's why we need to get there. Okay. All right. Any questions about any of that? You guys need to take a break, pat yourselves on the back because you did a fantastic job. Fantastic. Okay. All right. Amazing, right? What 9 weeks of paying attention and putting up with me will do. Okay. Bueno, good job. Okay. Okay. Before we do anything else in our near pod, all right, you guys, I want to share something with you. So you stay where you are. You don't have to answer the questions. I get it. Okay. You don't have to do anything just yet, but I want you to stay where you are And I want you to make sure that you can see my, hold on, let me share my Zoom screen. Okay, so make sure that you kind of hover over down at the bottom, okay, and you can see my Zoom screen. So give me a thumbs up if y'all can see my Zoom screen. Carolina, Lisa. James, how about you? Aslan, Arshis, Priscilla? Yeah? Dallas? Stacy, I need to know if you can see my Zoom screen. DK, Elizabeth, Haley. Yeah, okay. Haley's gone. Okay, now, again, because this is our first time and we're just trying to figure out how to do all of this, right? In future, we can eliminate a lot of these steps, okay? But we have to learn the steps first. So when we do a little story like that, or just when we're learning anything, you're going to hear me answer or ask you guys questions in Spanish. Yeah, because remember, our main skills are listening, reading, writing, and speaking, right? And writing and speaking are the two most difficult ones. But remember, we can't really speak if we don't understand what is being spoken to us. And that's why we focus on listening as well, okay? All right, so what are we going to do? We are going to focus on a particular kind of question. And the reason that I want to go through this with you is because I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. All right, I do not want you to feel overwhelmed. So we want to go through these slides real quick so that you guys kind of have an idea of what I'm looking for. So Q&R is like question answer relationships, right? Okay. And there's 4 kinds of questions. There's in the text questions, and there are not in the text questions, okay? And here's what I mean. We're going to focus, obviously, these are easiest. So this is what we are going to focus on. And specifically, we're going to focus on the right there kinds of questions and the think and search kind of questions, okay? These, where they're not all in the text, are maybe questions that we have to have some background knowledge for, you know, like there's more to it than what is in our little story, okay? Don't worry about those right now. What we're going to focus on are these, okay? And so what are those? So a right there kind of question, and you're going to hear me say that. You're going to say, you guys, this is a right there kind of question. So you need to know what it is, okay? The answer is found in the text. So if I were to ask you a question, you could look at the text and go right to it, because the answer is going to be in the sentence, okay? So I say to you, you guys, I'm going to ask you some right there kinds of questions, and you know that you're going to find the answer right. Okay. No opinion, no, guessing, extrapolating, or whatever, right? It should just be right there. Okay. So let's say, for example, a las 6 de la mañana, and I don't expect you guys to know these words. That's fine. Okay. Just bear with me. A las 6 de la mañana, Bob corre con su perro. Después de las clases, Bob juega al fútbol. Antes de dormir, Bob camina por 20 minutos. Sentences, you see the words. I don't know what the heck that means, right? No problem, okay? If I say to you, ¿Cuándo corre Bob? And these are a right there kind of question. Okay, I need to know, what does cuando mean? We practiced our question words. I have them behind me, right? Just for today's sake, I'm going to tell you what it means if we don't remember. Cuando with the D, when, right? When. Okay, my other thing, I know I'm talking about Bob. And then here's a keyword for me, corre. So if I'm asking you a right there kind of question, and I say, okay, our sentence, a las 6 de la mañana, Bob corre con su perro. Well, here's Bob and here's corre. And my question is asking me when. Well, when? I recognize this word right here is 6. So something about the 6th, right? In this case, at 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, I'm assuming we know this vocab, it'll be more obvious to you, obvious. Okay, this is just an example of how I'm going to find a right there kind of question. Okay. ¿Qué deporte juega Bob? Again, if I know that ¿qué is what. Okay. I'm still talking about Bob. And I got some keywords here like juega. So, después de las clases, Bob juega al fútbol. So, what juega Bob? What do you think your answer would be, you guys? It's right there in the text. What do you think your answer would be? Football, right? Who knows what the heck it means? What does juega mean? Who knows, right? But if my question is what and juega, and I look at my right there kind of sentence or question, football. Bob plays soccer. Okay. ¿Por cuánto tiempo camina Bob? Right? So if we know for how long or for how much time Bob is doing this action, okay, I can look at my sentence and I'm trying to answer it. It's just right there. I'm not giving my opinion or anything like that. I got Bob camina, which I recognize from here. I know this is for how long, because I've learned that for how long. Okay. And I also have this keyword por. So I'm looking for por. And here's my answer. So for how long does Bob walk? For 20 minutos. For 20 minutes. Okay. All right, questions. Everybody understand what I mean by a right there kind of response, yeah? A right there kind of question where you can figure out the keyword, yeah, and then find it in your text and just point to it. It's there somewhere, okay? Yes? All right, I'm going to stop sharing because in the time that we have left today, we're going to do a couple of these. We're going to do a couple of these in our Nearpod. So pull your Nearpod back up. Note that behind me, we have question words. So if you need to know what a question word is, you can always hover over to check out my background. I have the question words behind me. Okay, so let's just do a couple of these. We only have a minute or two, right? All right, I'm going to share my screen just so we all know where we are. Okay. And you can answer the questions in English, or you can just pull the text, right, pull the words out of the text, because remember, they're right there kinds of questions, okay? So our first question, clase, ¿quién es el amigo de Miguel? So I can recognize el amigo de Miguel. I just need to know what is quién. If you don't know, you can look behind me, right? Quién. So who is the friend of Miguel? So in the Nearpod, type number 1. Yeah. And you can answer in English. You're absolutely right. Whoever just put that in the chat box. Okay. So our very first right there kind of question, ¿Quién es el amigo de Miguel? So just put number 1 in the text box and answer the question. Okay. Okay, let's try another one. Número 2. ¿Dónde están? So what is dónde? I got it behind me above my head here. Yeah. So where are they? right? Donde, we're talking about location, and we're still talking about paragraph 1. So come down here to your text box, type in a number 2, put your answer in English or in Spanish. It doesn't make any difference. ¿Dónde están? Now, notice in my Nearpod, you guys, I don't have upside down question marks. I don't have accent marks because it's too much of a hassle. They don't allow for that. So you have to just pretend they're there. Okay. ¿Dónde están? Where are they? Where's this thing happening? Okay. We're still on paragraph 1. And the last one, número 3. ¿Cómo se llama el amigo de Carlos? ¿Cómo se llama el amigo de Carlos? Pop your answer in. Yes. Yes. Okay. So who is Miguel's friend? For number 1, you should have said Carlos. For number 2, ¿Dónde están? You could have said en la pequeña ciudad, right? In the small city. And in number 3, ¿Cómo se llama el amigo de Carlos? You should have said Miguel. Okay, now go ahead and submit this Nearpod, please. Go ahead and submit it. And we'll come back to it. All right. All right, you guys did a fantastic job today. Story, wow. What you guys already know in 9 weeks is amazing. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Good luck on your 5th hour test if you're having one. And make sure you submit that Nearpod. Okay, you guys. Adios. Great job today. Adios.